Hello, I am John from Tech Growth Marketing. I basically help MSP and tech companies grow their businesses through marketing. And today I'm going to give you an in-depth, step-by-step marketing plan for your MSP. And I guarantee if you follow this step by step and do exactly what I say, you will be using the most efficient method to market your MSP company and therefore to acquire new clients online. So by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly the steps you need to take to market your MSP company. I'm also going to give you some insights that are probably specific to your exact situation, but they apply regardless on where you are. Just wait and see, I'm going to explain all this stuff. But yeah, by the end, you're going to know exactly the best way to market your MSP company. So let's jump into it. So first off, let's talk about the situation you're in right now, okay? You may not know what you're doing. You may be confused as to what you should do. You may be trying loads of different approaches, but not really finding any real results. You're probably relying way too heavily on word of mouth and referrals because everybody does, which is, by the way, not a strategy, it's a bonus. And then you're also probably not feeling that your business has enough visibility online. So you might genuinely be a unique MSP in that you have, for example, a really unique approach. You might use AI to automate a load of things, or you might have a really personable approach and you know everyone struggles with communication with other MSPs. You might be good, but nobody knows your business actually exists, so visibility is low, okay? So what you need is a plan that's gonna get you to the position where people know you exist and they start coming to you asking to work with them, okay? So there's two different approaches we have here. We have the first, you are a small company just starting out or maybe even going for a while, but you don't have the budget to spend on big marketing campaigns. And then there's the approach whereby you are a big company, you have a few people working for you, whether they be freelancers or full-time, doesn't matter, but you have turnover that you could potentially put into adverts, okay? Now, I'm gonna first start out with this group here, the people who are starting out and have time, but that does not mean if you are in this camp, you should not listen to this section because the rules that apply here apply later on. And if you utilize everything I'm going to say here and tie it into the stuff I'm going to say with the ads, you explode in terms of efficiency of acquiring new clients, okay? So here, you're starting out, you don't have the money to spend on ad campaigns and automate the process for you. What can you do? Well, you have to take a manual approach to marketing your MSP. So firstly, I'm going to talk you through step by step what any MSP marketing plan needs to look like. Step one, you need to do market research. You need to actually genuinely understand who it is you're targeting. Are you targeting a specific niche or are you just targeting anyone general in a specific area maybe? You might be a local MSP. You need to figure out who your target audience is. Secondly, you need to understand what their actual frustrations are with IT in their business. I guarantee, in fact I know, that they don't care that they need Office 365 and they can't find a supplier for Office 365 because they're drowning in them. What they're frustrated with is they're frustrated with IT, and they will tell you, if you do market research, exactly what you need to tell them to basically get them on board as a client, okay? So you need to do market research, step one. Step two, you need to come up with a strategy that's based off of the market research. So you found out who your target audience is because you've either figured that out yourself or you've asked people, and then you've done surveys and you've interviewed people in that target audience, and they will inform what the best strategy is for you. They'll basically tell you what it is. So you need to then set a strategy. Now, in the instance of having a small company, as we're talking about here, your strategy 100% always needs to be manually led. So it needs to be a lot of content and it needs to be a lot of manual outreach. If you're larger, your strategy is probably going to be a mix of everything I just said there. And it's also going to include things like running adverts and maybe further down the line, way further down the line, SEO. A lot of people think SEO is first, it's last, right? So that's where you do strategy. Step three in the MSP marketing plan, you need to create assets for whatever that strategy is. You need to make sure your website's up to scratch. You need to make sure you have a strategy for reaching out to people. Are you going to have to send videos like video prospecting? Are you going to have to send emails out? You need to make sure you have templates for all this stuff. Everything like that needs to be ready. If you're running ads, you need to make sure your ads are ready and everything that supports that. Step four, launch the campaign. Start doing that action because consistency is the only thing that actually brings you results. 100%. Doing it over and over again is the only thing that brings you results. I could tell you right now what the best approach is for your exact situation, And if you didn't do it consistently over a period of time, it would be 100% irrelevant. And you could probably try something that was not the most efficient thing for you, such as cold calling, which I know a lot of people do. And if you did that enough, then you probably get a result. I literally spoke to someone like the other day who said they did 1,000 cold calls and they got one piece of work out of it. It's like, well, yeah, you were consistent with it. Is that the most efficient spend of your time? God, no, but you were consistent. Then step 5 is to review it and tweak it, right? So you've launched it, you started doing that thing. How can you improve it to make it more time efficient or cost efficient? That, high level, is your MSP marketing plan. So back into the more detailed elements. Stage 2, your strategy, okay? So we're in stage 2. You're a small company, you need to do manual outreach, or you need to do content. What does that involve? Well, manual outreach would involve things like video prospecting, sending videos direct to people, get in contact with people. You could try cold calling, you can try direct mail, so you send things in the mail which are very, very, very specific to them. So for example, handwritten letters, or some people, I've seen there's someone else who does stuff in America, and they just have these template ones that they send out that are really 90s. I mean, you can do stuff like that, but you need to manually reach out. Now, in my experience, video prospecting is by far and away the most efficient way of doing that. So video prospecting, it's a nuanced start, but that's the best thing. You also need to make content, and that content needs to come from the market research you did. It needs to give a load of value, not at all, shouldn't be talking about your services. You should be talking about their problems and how they can resolve them. That's what you need to do first. SEO, do not get buried in a heap of, I'm going to write loads of blog posts, I'm going to do SEO, and my company's going to rank on Google, and it's going to resolve all my problems, as everyone does, because trust me, that doesn't happen, because the big companies do that, and they have people in marketing agencies who do that as a career, doing that 24/7. So if you're in that position, no way you're going to win that fight. So that's if you're a small company. Now, if you're a large company, you need to run ads, and more specifically, you need to run them on LinkedIn, because it's the best platform right now to be running ads on. And then you need to have a remarketing campaign that runs through Google, through Facebook, through LinkedIn, through all these other platforms. But you still need to tie in the manual outreach you had back here, but you just know that it's going to be more targeted because you essentially get leads automatically. Now, remarketing is one of the best things you can do for your MSP company, and that only comes when you have the money to run ads, right? So that essentially is what you need to do as an MSP marketing plan. You need to follow those 5 steps I said at the start. If you're small, you need to focus on manual outreach and content on things like LinkedIn, but your messaging needs to be right. You need to give a load of value. If you're large, you need to run adverts, but still take on board the principles and utilize some of the tools found if you're a smaller company as well. That's it. Genuinely, that is 100% it. Now, obviously, you are in a specific situation, and you might be still not sure to exactly what it is you need to do, but don't worry, I can basically tell you that. So my company, Tech Growth Marketing, we are giving away free strategy audits, whereby basically we'll run through your company's approach, where you're at now, what you're doing at present, where you need to get to, and we'll basically, using our knowledge and work with MSPs, come up with your exact step-by-step what you need to do specifically, and mainly stage 2, that strategy will basically tell you what the strategy is for you that you need to use. That is entirely free as well, by the way, no obligation or anything like that. There's a link in the description below. You fill out your details on our website and a member of our team will contact you, and they'll basically help arrange a meeting, and that meeting will probably be with me directly, and basically we'll talk through your company and figure out what the best approach is for you. So I'd strongly recommend you take advantage of that, because that's going to help save you a lot of time. But yeah, other than that, make sure you subscribe to this channel. It's entirely about marketing for MSPs, so we can help you gain more clients. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions, just leave a comment below, and I'll speak to you soon.